Yo, howdy there, fellow PvPers. This is just gonna be a quick add-on video. We'll start alphabetical order. I guess spell activation overlay is technically at the top. This add-on is actually weird because this used to be in the game default. If you pressed like Pet Nova, you would get Fingers of Frost, and then you get like this Brain Freeze proc. I guess this is only for mages, but there are other spells I think like Shadow Bolt for lock or yeah, I don't know, stuff for other classes. So if you play classes and you're like, where are my animations? That's just because you don't have a spell activation overlay. So first add-on, all you gotta do is enable it, just set it up. Boom, easy. Auctionator, just, you know, everyone can use that to buy stuff in the auction house. Bartender, this is definitely a big one. Pretty easy to customize. You just hit /BT. I'm in combat, so I can't, but if I leave combat, then you have all of your action bars here. A lot of them are disabled. You can enable them and then make new key bindings. If you're using Arena 1, 2, 3 macros, you pretty much need Bartender because it's yeah, it's hard to play without that. You don't have enough binds in the default WoW. What you can do is, like, I have all these extra binds, right? They're not really doing anything. I'm not showing any cooldowns here, so I could go to bar number 5, and then I can go to visibility and just put always hide. And then if I need to edit binds, I can unhide it. I can even do that for bar 3 and 4, but I'll just, yeah, leave them there. Just want to clean up your UI, make some more space. Big debuffs. All right, this one I kind of got to be in arena for, so we'll open up like a game here, just random WoW videos. Did I win this game? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Big debuffs. What does this do? It's gonna show on everyone's frames right here, so you can see Howl of Terror on the priest. And even on the mage, it's going to show like the most important debuff on the enemy frames. And this is nice because it helps us not overlap CCs. It also helps us time stuff out. Like, oh, I know the rogue is cloned for 4 seconds. Oh, he has 8 seconds of Shadow Dance up. Like, there's just really important big debuffs, and it just highlights them. So it's easy to see. I really like it for using my own CCs. Like, seeing I have the priest in a half fear here. I know how long it is. I know when to do stuff out. I know how long my dots are lasting on big debuffs. Also, I think puts dots on nameplates, but I also have a different nameplate add-on, so maybe they could interfere somehow. Yeah, just really good big debuffs. You don't need to customize it. You could change the priority of some of the spells if you really want to, because that will, you know, make sure you want to have certain buffs at the top instead. I think having CCs is always the best, and then after that, offensive cooldowns, defensive cooldowns. It's also, yeah, big debuffs, but also puts up big buffs as well. So that one's easy. I don't customize that at all. Details, this is just your damage tracker. You can go back and be like, oh my god, how much damage did I do? Oh my god, so much burst. And then you can see, yeah, how many times you're pressing spells and stuff like that. You can also go to interrupts and see what team is landing more kicks. You can do crowd control. We like to look at crowd control received. It's not always accurate because it doesn't track certain CCs, but you can see your heals absorbed. There's just, yeah, you can mess around with details. I'm not going to go into that in depth too much. Diminish. This one is another cool add-on. I don't customize this at all. It's just another plug and play. It's going to show your DRs. Basically, you can see when I get CC'd, I can look at my character frame and I know, okay, I just got stunned. I'm on stun DR for 20 seconds, which means I can be a little bit more aggressive with my positioning. But what I also really like to do is, especially on Warlock, I will, yeah, play really far away. Like I can play, so let's just take the opener, for example, I think. So in the beginning, see how far away I am from my port. My port's on the other side of the pillar. If I was on stun DR and I know I'm coming off stun DR in like 2 seconds, right when that stun DR comes off, I'm gonna pre-port and then kind of fuck their positioning up. So now the mage is like, oh my god, where is he? But obviously I haven't been stunned yet, so that's not really the case. But this is definitely something good to do, just knowing when you can be stunned and when you can't. And yeah, when, like, if you're immune to sheep and a mage is sheeping you, then you don't need to kick it. So just little stuff like that definitely helps. It also is gonna put DRs for your teammates, I believe. I think that is an option. I don't know if I have that enabled, but I definitely should have it enabled. I also get DRs on my arena frames. I think that's just through S Arena though. I don't customize diminish at all, but if I wanted to put my teammates on there, I think that is an option. Party, I should enable this, I think. And just track sheep DRs on my healer and stuff like that. Knowing when to kick is really important. Okay. Doom cooldown pulse. This is gonna anytime, so I'll cold and cold, and then in 8 seconds, when I have cold and cold back up, it'll flash in the middle of my screen. It's kind of helpful sometimes. I mean, I don't pay attention too much to it, but it is nice, like all of a sudden, oh, I know I have another block back, or I've poured back. I don't like look in the middle of my screen for this too much, but sometimes it's just like a little subconscious reminder. Imorph, this is what I use if you ever see me playing as like a worgen or something. It's against TOS, but it's super fun to use. I got little macros so I can change my gear as well. Yeah, you can get banned using this, but I've been playing WoW for like 15 years and I've always used a morphing program and I've never gotten banned. Not to say that you won't, but use it at your own risk and have fun using it if you are. I mean, I feel like I can't play without it at this point. It's just so much fun. And you can even change like your mounts and stuff too. So, yeah. Woo! That's imorph. Keep going through them. Next up, leatrix. This is just like a quality of life, like auto repair, auto accept quest type add-on. I don't customize that. Loss of control alerter. This is going to put something in the middle of my screen when I get CC'd, so I know how long the CCs last for. Like you can see, cheap shot, 3.6 seconds, 4 seconds, whatever. Really nice to have that for me, just so I know how long I have to get out of the CC. Another plug and play, don't need to change it. Masque, this is going to give the black borders on my bars, so if I type in /masque and then I go to, I have the dream setting on. I think that's one thing I changed. Yeah, I went to dream setting and you can do what you want. Next add-on. My slot, this is if you want to change binds from one identical class, or you want to like say I just made an alt mage or I made a mage on TR, I could copy my entire interface here and then copy and paste it with my slot to another account. Neat plates have these disabled. I'm using Plater, I think. Omnibar, this is huge. This is definitely one you are going to want to customize and find spells you want to add. So if I do /omnibar test, maybe, or test all, this is like all the stuff I'm tracking right now. Definitely might want to track other spells as well, but I'm tracking Shadow or Death, so I know if I can death a sheep or not. All the interrupts in the game, knowing when kicks are up. Tremor Totem's nice, you're playing with a priest. Inner Focus, you don't want to get Aura Mastered. Grounding, you don't want to get grounded. So just looking out for things like when does a priest have fear? When does a rogue have cloak? Like I should probably be tracking cloak. Some of the spells are broken because cloak is not a 1 minute cooldown. It is a 2 minute cooldown, I guess. So, or 1 minute, might be 1 minute 30. I'll have to look into that. Some of the spells you do have to edit, and if you want to edit custom spells, you have to find the spell ID on Wowhead, and then you can edit the time. I have not done too much customization here though, so might be better off getting someone else's import. What's next? Omnibar is definitely really good, and that also brings me to omnicd, which is going to be your teammates cooldown. So if I open a game right here, oh, this is fucking retail. Whoops. Similar concept. It is like all the same add-ons pretty much for retail and for classic. So if I look at my arena frames here, I have tracking my shaman's link, his trinket, his NS. This makes me just a little bit more aware of what's going on in the game. If I'm CC'd, often this is kind of like when I'm looking at my screen, I'm like, all right, what cooldowns do we have? And knowing that if my shaman has no trinket, I need to peel a little bit. I mean, obviously you always want to be peeling, but it just kind of, yeah, keeps you aware of what's going on in the game. You can definitely edit these, because I know that when I first started playing, it was like tracking my shaman's elementals and stuff, like stuff you can't even use in arena. So you can like uncheck fire elemental totem. You can track, yeah, whatever you want to track. I feel like interrupts are good. I do track interrupts with Omnibar. I didn't really mention that. You can make separate, I think this is maybe omnicd actually, you can make separate bars. So I'm tracking my teammates' kicks right here, knowing that we can rotate kicks and, yeah, just try not to overlap stuff. Next add-on. plater, this is pretty straightforward. It's probably the best nameplates in Classic and Retail. I think the default ones are fine, but these actually look pretty similar to Retail. I'm using Chanimal's plater profile, and if you want his settings, you have to sub to him in Twitch, which is maybe worth it because he's really good and does a lot of damage. Or you know, you can sub to me and I'll I'll give it to you too. But I feel like it's probably better to support the guy who spent a lot of time making it. Yeah, you can see I've got friendly nameplates on as well. It just looks super clean. Oh, this guy wants to duel, but I have him into my Friar Gears, my Frost spec. We'll just keep doing add-on stuff. This plater, quartz, this is my cast bar, so anything like, anytime there's a cast bar on the screen, it's just quartz. I like to customize. You can't move the default classic cast bar. I don't mind playing the default bars, but you can't move it, so I ended up just using, yeah, just ended up using quartz. What did my mastery spike to? Why is my mastery so high right now? All right, I'm getting off subject. Quartz, Questy, this is just questing out. I don't even need that. S Arena, those are my arena frames right here. And then I'm using the, I think, the second option. I just went down to Blizz target. You can move them around. Pretty nice. I like that. Leaves me with Tell Me When and Weak Auras. These are essentially the same add-on. I just don't know how to make Weak Auras, and I know how to make Tell Me When Aura. So Tell Me When, you just type /TMW, and then it's very easy if you want to track buffs or debuffs. That's kind of what I mostly do. I mean, there's so many buffs in the game. I don't look in the top right corner of my screen always, so it's good for me to highlight certain buffs that are going on. My WoW crashed, but if we get into a game here, I can show you. So on my Warlock, I like to clip all my procs together. So you can see I've got Power Torrent, Tailoring Cloak, and my 2 Trinket procs. So now this is an insane time to do a Demon Soul Soul Swap. Unlucky for me, they have both kicks up and I have no UAs out. So I'm just trying to play around my procs here. And I know that I have this 1 second to get the Demon Soul off, and I get the Demon Soul off with all those dots. Like you can see, I get the Soul Swap right here, just as those buffs are fading. I hope that they're buffed. I think they should be. But yeah, basically just using Tell Me When to make auras and track things. So on my mage, I don't know if I'm tracking too many things. I like to track when I have Cursive Tongues on me, just so I know to instant dispel it. I like to track my Living Bomb explosions and my Fire Mage combustion dots here when I'm playing fire. I play more frost than fire, but I track when Cauterize procs. And then Weak Auras is very similar. It does all the same stuff, but it's more of like alerting you when other players have spells and buffs up. And this is, I think, Chanimal's Weak Aura set. Really nice to know when these things are going on. Aura Mastery, don't kick, obviously. Monkey means like trap is coming. Smoke Bomb from the Rogue. Predator Swiftness for the Feral, knowing when to clones. Shadow or Death. Just good to track these things. Grounding Totem. Pets Feared, all that type of stuff. Yeah, those are really, really good to have. Wings, and if you need these Weak Auras, just message me in stream, or you can try to put them in the description. But let me see. I'll copy these. Actually, I'm not that good at exporting Weak Auras. Export, copy, and I go to all the Weak Auras are on WAG. I don't even know how to spell this. Wago. And then if I just go to import, I can put these Weak Auras here. And I'll put this in the description of the video. Then just copy import string, then you go to Weak Auras, import, and then paste, and you'll have all those Weak Auras that I have as well. Other than that, I think we hit every single add-on. I don't see anything that I missed. There's not a whole lot of setting up involved. I think Bartender and Omnibar are the two that are going to take the most time, but they're pretty straightforward. So If you have questions on anything, definitely feel free to ask. I'm always very willing to help others in the stream or in life in general. And that's something I'm happy to do. So thank you for watching, and yeah, enjoy the PvP.